ultimate machine. BMW, 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 the ultimate machine. BMW, 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 the ultimate machine. We are outwardly conscious of the fact that business has a large and lasting effect on the world it exists in. That is why we celebrate the role of BMW in constructively intervening to counteract the effects and the business and its functions may have on the environment, may have on the community. That is why we celebrate. That is why we celebrate. Just drive with me, drive with me, drive with me in my ultimate machine. BMW, 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 the ultimate machine. It's my BMW, 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 the ultimate machine. Just drive with me, drive with me, just drive with me in my BMW. Just drive with me, drive with me, drive with me in my ultimate machine. BMW, 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 the ultimate machine. BMW, 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 the ultimate machine.
Driving you into the future. Unleashing the sacred sounds of the motherland. Radio has never tasted this good. From this side of the hemisphere. Drive.
Roger. Frequency modulation engaged. Resume worldwide music stream in 3, 2, 1.
Здравствуй. Ciao.
Shalom. Bonjour.
สวัสดีこんにちは
What's up, world? Good songs.
Day long.
It's number one.
Most awesome thing ever.
This is
One of the coolest stations in the world.
Well, it is the Santon Express morning show on your channel of choice. That is the 1873 FM. Your voice, your power. Your voice on issues that matter. Your power to inspire new thinking, new outcomes, and new possibilities. And yes, this is your channel of your platform for open, frank, and honest conversations in as far as shaping and defining the character and personality of the kind of future you want. The future I want, the future we all want collectively, and it's only attainable when as individuals our minds meet on the kind of future we want, and what actually ought to occupy our conversations when our minds meet on the future that we want. So when it comes to the aspect of the storytelling in itself, I mean, that is one fundamental aspect that will enable us to be able to secure the future that we want collectively. When I know, when I am able to share my story freely like I am doing, and more importantly, just sharing my personal experiences and what I've come to learn from yesterday until today, that the power of coming together, be it in as far as working capital raising is concerned, you can only do so much alone. I mean, I've come to learn that when individuals who have knowledge around corporate finance matters come together, they can be able to come up with solutions to the challenges that they face on a day-to-day basis in as far as bridging the aspect of capital in a business when it comes to a business is concerned. And I am glad that I also happen to be part of a network where as individuals we put our minds come together on how best to come up with innovative innovative ways of bridging managing finance, particularly for businesses. And yes, it's unfortunate that at the moment we cannot be able to get hold of Lineo Tsosane, but when we as soon as we manage to be able to do so, we'll be able to continue with the conversation with her. But in the meantime, as we continue the power of storytelling on the 1873 FM, you feel free to also add your voice on the 1873 FM this morning, just to tell your story as far as how the year 2019 has been for you. What key lessons have you drawn? And more importantly, if you've been an avid follower of the 1873 FM's Santon Express morning show, just share with us how these conversations have shaped you as an individual, or shaped your thinking as an individual in search of the future that you want. Because at the end of the day, when you look at the future that you want as an individual, you happen to be the driver of that change. And earlier on, I just played a track titled BMW, a track that basically tells a story of how corporates on a day-to-day basis are not recognized for the role that they play in the affairs of mankind, yet they play a fundamental role in as far as just delivering the promise of life, just ensuring that at the end of the day, individuals, they have access to jobs. I mean, individuals also can derive an income from some of these corporates. Individuals also benefit from the corporate social investment initiatives of these corporates within their communities. And I want to take this time and opportunity just to salute those individual or actors who act in the name of these corporates, who play their part in a day-to-day basis to ensuring that at the end of the day, a difference is made within whatever community that they happen to be in. And yes, good morning to you, Menlik Nesta Gibbons. Glad to know that you are also tuned in and you are following this conversation this morning. And as we continue in as far as just the power of storytelling, feel free to also reach out to tell your story. And yes, let's all as individuals play our part in as far as making a difference within our communities, and not wait for the other individual, yet the solution could be lying in you, the individual. As soon as you just get also the opportunity to add your voice on issues that matter to you. You never know what you have until you share it with many others. And one man once told me that an idea is not an idea unless if it's shared. The moment you share with others, then it becomes an idea. And what is the differentiator is the execution of that great inspiration. So never be afraid to also be on platforms where ideas are exchanged, because it is only in exchanging those ideas that they can be executed at the end of the day. But if you keep it to yourself, then it won't be of any use to anybody. So as we get ready to also get towards this end of the show, I do hope that all these conversations that we are having on the 1873 FM, they are finding them insightful, you are finding them also informative, and they are helping you as an individual, they are shaping you as an individual. More importantly, they are igniting you as an individual to be the change that you want to see. Let's quickly go on a short break, and we'll be back shortly. Keep it locked on your channel of choice, the 1873 FM, your voice, your power.
Monday to Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. Central African Time.
The drive to come here, seek opportunity.
The drive, the afternoon drive. That makes sense. Yes.
From 8 1873 to present and introspect to your heritage.
Can we say behind every successful woman is a lazy nigga? I don't know. What do you say?
No, definitely not. I think behind every successful woman is another successful woman.
Oh, I like
So I
that.
definitely think that women look out for each other. There's a misconception that we're always attacking each other or something. But I definitely think that we do tend to look after each other.
Definitely.
One piece of advice I always give to young people is that they need to understand how finances work.
Empowering the mind. Enriching the nation. 1873 FM.
If your organization seems to be asking to invest when questions are being asked, you are saying that Zimbabwe is okay when people like Masiwa can't even visit Zimbabwe.
Look, I just want to talk about the economy and whether people can or can't visit Zimbabwe. I'm not really sure where that transpired from. It's something to engage the government by the relevant people who are affected.
The hardest radio on this side of the hemisphere.
This morning, we are talking about this matter. When it comes to artists, they end up broke for some reason. We see them on our screens. We see them on our stages. We see them everywhere, living this lavish life. And then suddenly we are told so-and-so is bankrupt. So-and-so doesn't have a place to live. What a one. Like, what's happening?
There's so many things that get artists into those situations. I think the first one is that South African artists want to mimic the lifestyle of their American counterparts. We want to drive those cars. We want to pop those bottles. We want to wear those labels. We want to be seen with those girls. And we can't afford it because we are not paid as much as those artists. America is huge. It's a country of states. We have one state in South Africa. An American can travel just America and make millions.
Come on! Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at 1873FM. Hashtag 1873FM. 1873. 1873.
The envelope of knowledge on leadership literacy with Naledi Botina and myself, Tinashe Pasiri. You don't work for yourself. You work for the customer because it's the customer who pays you. You cannot invoice yourself, if that makes sense. Does that make any sense?
It does, Tinashe.
Yes.
But now, as you are saying, you are the same person that says we make our own decisions.
Yeah, we make our own decisions.
We are individuals.
Yes, we are individuals.
Then come back. So now, if you are telling me we do it for the customers, then you are not doing it for yourself.
Come on! Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at 1873FM. Hashtag 1873FM. 1873. 1873. To be a part of the conversation, call us now on Joburg 011-5684-270 or add us on Skype 1873FM. 1873 FM.
I want to find out what it is that you have done for the people of Angola so far. I mean, you want to be the change that you want to see. So what change? Because we can sit here and talk about all the problems Angola has and all the problems Africa has.
I'm not just here to paint badly our current government, but we also have summits. And one of them, talking politically, is that we want to give back, what we are calling citizenship back to them. What I mean by that? What I mean is that in Angola, unfortunately, and I think this is a problem of most African countries. It's like, if you are not a holder of a membership of the current party.
Concerning the inviting people to come to Angola, people are complaining concerning the visa. Put your passport in the embassy. Sometimes it takes 1 month or 2 months for you to get the visa. Once you are in the government, are you going to work on that?
Thank you for the question, Mr. Benjamin. What we assist is that one can submit his visa application and he can stay for 2 or 3 months. Once, he's a businessman. He has a lot of activities. We also want to change this bureaucratic way of treating people who are interested to go in Angola,
Naledi Botina and Tinashe Pasiri.
Come on! Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at 1873FM. Hashtag 1873FM.
No, because what
people are suffering. Baba Lokuban, don't get there because it makes me very, very upset. I have relatives who are still in that Zimbabwe whom I cannot even send money from here.
Okay.
You understand me? Because not that they cannot get the money the way I'm supposed to send the money through MoneyGram, through Telegram,
through Western Union.
Money through that. I've got to find people to give to and say, please hand this money to my sister in Bulawayo. which is very abnormal.
1873.
How much did you start your business with at that time?